Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Loves Tabletop Games. Today with Nexus Ops. Um, so the first edition of the game is probably like 20, 25 years old by now. There was a second edition done by Fantasy Flight that I missed out on, so any comparisons I'm making are going to be based off the first version of the game. But I was really surprised to see this make a comeback. I'm honestly quite happy to see it again. So, there's been a moon that's been found with these new energy crystals called Rubium, and it's been sold off to mega corporations, and now they're fighting over this moon for to achieve their secret objectives and battles and everything else. To that end, they'll hire aliens and stuff, and trying to get to the points to win. So, setup of the game: we'll have the monolith at the center, the single tiles around that, and then the double tiles around that, and exploration tokens on top of those tiles. And home bases for 4 players here. At 3 players, it's one at every other corner. 2 players, they're opposite. The first player, the player taking their first turn will get 8 Rubium. The player to their left gets 3 more. Then the player to their left gets 3 more. The player to their left gets 3 more than that. So that the player to the first player's right, in a 4-player game, will have 17. So, as part of the turn order for the game, the player will do the following. Purchase new units. You will spend your Rubium on units with costs on your little reference board. Basic humans. They cost 2. They hit on a 6+. They cannot enter the magma pool or the monolith. They can, however, do mining. The fungoid hits. It costs 3. It hits on a 5+. A 4+ on its own fungus terrain. A 6+ in crystal terrain. The crystal spires. It cannot enter the monolith. It can, however, do mining. The crystalline costs 3. It hits on a 5+. It's on a 4+ in crystal spires. A 6 on the fungus forest, or liquid fungus. It cannot enter the monolith. It can, however, do mining. Drop Strider. It costs 6. It hits on a 4+. If it is moving to or through rock planes, it can go 1 more space. So from here, so it's going to this rock plane, it's gonna go like um, all the way. The only thing is, moving more than 1 space, you're gonna have to stop for any enemies that were there. Okay, Lava Leaper, ground guy. It costs 8. It hits on a 3+. It hits on a 2+ on magma pools. On a result of a 5 to hit or 6, um, instead of the opponent choosing their own casualty, you get to decide what gets burned. It can move 2 spaces when moving from a magma pool, and it can leap over enemy units this way. And finally, the Rubium Dragon. It is a 12 cost. It hits on a 2+. If it is not in a contested space, it can breathe fire on an adjacent space. It's a die roll of 4+. If it succeeds, units removed, or the opponent loses a unit there. It does not count as a battle. It is just a special attack. Um, that that restriction is critical with regard to certain missions and stuff. When it is moving from the monolith, it can go to any space. It does not care about any intervening enemies. It can go anywhere. Just cause havoc. Okay, so we got the setup, understand the units. Let's go to the turn. First thing you do on your turn is you deploy. You will spend your nice Rubium crystals, way better than the cardboard tokens I remember, on your units. They will be deployed to your home spaces as you see fit. On the first turn of the game, you're probably going to be putting some units on your mines to start building up um, your money base. But from there, you're probably going to start going outwards. You can deploy even with enemy units there. That way, you're not completely blockaded. But hopefully, you have some Rubium bank for if that ever happens. Usually, the spot that's like furthest away from everyone is safe. Mostly. Don't lose your last mine. But yeah. Uh, After deploying, you can move. You can only move one space. Anything that can move two spaces that isn't ignoring enemies will have to stop for enemies if they happen to be there. So, for example, got the Lava Leaper there and the Rock Strider there. They could move through the rock plains, but no, there's the Lava Leaper. Unless they want to go this way instead. After you move, let's say I gotta move there. Explorer. So, you'll flip over the token. If it's got a number, it's a mine. It is a permanent fixture on the board. If it's got a kind of pinkish symbol, you get that unit. And then discard it. Discard the token. If it shows both, you'll get this unit immediately, and then leave this token on the board for to use as a mine. You want to find as many mines as possible out here, and quickly and just secure them, because you want to have that money base to make things go a little bit better over the course of the game. Battle. If you are currently occupying a space um, with enemy units, there will be a battle. So let's say these three units moved in on this turn. So starting with the strongest unit and then moving away down. Both sides will attack simultaneously. So dragons on both sides will fight, and then lava leapers, and then rock striders, so on and so forth. So here is a lava leaper. It will get one die because there's one of it. It's attacking first. It missed. If it hit, I would have to take a casualty. I would choose to lose the human. With a lava leaper special, it gets to choose, and it's probably going to take out the crystalline because just because it's higher up in the battle order, and it's good for protecting the rare crystal spires spots, or at least the less common. And then crystal, let's say, he's succeeding taking out the crystalline, and then it gets to fungoid. So I roll a one die, I missed. I roll for the human, and I missed. So the battle ends after one round, period. If neither side is defeated, nothing happens. Okay, let's say I got to this point, and we're doing the battle, and I'm the attacker, and I successfully get rid of their unit on my turn. I can either claim a win a battle card, which is worth 1 point, or I can play a secret objective, a secret mission with a number in red that applies to it. Objective, rock plains. Win a battle, any rock plains. I did so. That's in my hand. You now play it. I now have 2 points. It takes 12 points to win the game, and you're going to do it by completing secret missions and fighting winning battles. The player that lost will then draw an energized card, which will have random benefits for battle or deployment. Now, if it happened the other way on my turn, if I lost, I don't. If the active player loses, the defending player does not get to do the win the battle card, and the attacking player does not get the energized card. The the energized card is there to benefit the person who's not the active player and getting beat on. If you want, if you're trying to complete a mission, you need to be the one being the aggressor. But anyway, put those back for now. Leave the human there. Hope they're fine. After battle, mine. Your humans, your fungoids, and your crystallines. As long as they occupy a mine, those mines will activate. So I've got a human. I had a human here. I had a fungoid here, crystalline here. So I would get the 8 rubium I had earlier. Get that back. I believe you do not mine from contested spaces. That would make sense for this game. Yeah, you would have to control it, and control means not contested. So let's say the battle didn't end here, and it's still there. I don't get to mine. Let's say they only have like a lava leaper here. They don't get to mine because they're not uh, mining capable. Again, only the humanoid, the fungoid, and the crystalline. After you mine, you draw. You will draw a secret mission card. It will go to your hand, and you have something to work with later. Try to achieve and get points. For example, this one, breaking the recruits. Start a battle with at least 4 humans, or the alternative, clones, on your side of the battle. So as long as you start the battle, um, you can play it. If you are controlling the monoliths at the end of your turn, you will also draw 2 energized cards. So there's an incentive to take the monolith. Did not shuffle very well. Those were both outplayed. All right. And then you've completed all the steps to return. It is now the player to your left. The game will continue on until someone has 12 points worth of cards between secret missions and winning battles, at which point that player wins. There is no possibility for ties because the only way to play missions is on your own turn, which means you have to be actively doing stuff to win, and you will win immediately. Variants for the game. Well, the some of these are going to be mutually exclusive. Some can be put together. You can either play to 10 points or 14 points if you want a shorter or longer game. You can try to take control of the monolith uh, at the um, at the end of your turn. Instead of drawing the 2 energized cards, you can take a control the monolith card and let each of your opponents draw an energized card from the deck. It's a point towards victory, and it's a way to maybe speed things up a little bit. It means the monolith is like double important. Executive orders. In addition to getting your starting Rubium, you'll also start with a secret and mission card. Top priority. Instead of drawing one secret mission card for the draw phase, you draw two. Choose one to keep into your hand and return the other to the bottom. This I would allow to combine with the starting one, so that each player draws two cards and picks one to keep at the start of the game as well. Extra exploration tokens. What you'll do is you'll take the exploration tokens that already exist, and you'll swap six of them out with the new ones that provide energized cards, Rubium, a mine, and an energized card. Just bear in mind that across the exploration tokens, the total of mine values is at least 16. So there's 5, 10. There's currently 16 in the basic set. So if you switch anything out, you might switch out the ones with the various creatures with the ones with energized cards, or swap out the surprise rock striders with surprise energized cards and Rubium. Or you can replace the rock striders with the mines. The main thing is not taking out the twos and not taking out the ones for the others. Um, Intercepted transmissions, which would be mutually exclusive with the other thing we discussed earlier. You'll take a number of mission cards equal to the number of players plus two, and you'll make a kind of tableau of those cards. Players will not draw them into hand. Instead, the active player can fulfill any card face up. This this might be something to do with a new group if people are really unfamiliar with the way the objectives work. It's a way to, you know, see all the cards and say, okay, this is how you're going to try to do this one, and maybe demonstrate how it'll work. That way, everyone's got a chance to really get a feel for how to go for the objectives. Yeah. And then when you actually complete it, you'll take the card and replace it, of course. You can play the 4-player team rules. So two players will work together, and with a combined total of 20 victory points. If one player is eliminated, their points will still count, but if both players of the team are eliminated, then the other team wins. Surprisingly, this is what that would be the thinking going into Warcraft. Go figure. Yeah. Um, at the end of the draw phase, the active player's teammate um, they choose one card from their hand and pass it to the active player. Or the active player's teammate can pass a card to them. It can either be an energize or a secret mission. Which, before I forget, energize and secret mission cards can also be discarded for Rubium. So there's like two ways of helping them if needed. Something they can do for points, help out in battle, or extra money. There's the Vortex, which eliminates the Monolith effectively. Um, the start player marker now goes to the first player. And then before the first player takes their turn, um, resolve the vortex, except on the first turn of the game. All right. Roll one black die and one yellow die. Okay. The vortex sucks in any um, units occupying the hex that borders um, the black die. The one would be here. And then the storm blows the units in the hex that borders the number shown on the yellow die. So anything that was here is now over here. Anything that would have um, been moved into, let's see here. Does it say those units would have been destroyed? I don't know. Because if humans can't enter magma pool, I would imagine they would be destroyed if they went in. But it doesn't say for sure. But anyway, after doing that, then roll one die, and the vortex will destroy everything here. Period. And for each controlled hex adjacent to the vortex, that controlling player draws an energized card. Yeah, it's just another crazy thing to do with the game. And it kind of screws the Rubium Dragon a bit. Um, because it ends up making it more of a high risk unit. Yeah, because yeah, nobody can enter the vortex. Also, the cards Death from Above and Secure the Monolith are removed from the game for the session because I specifically refer to them. All right, alternate units on the back of your little unit sheet is the alternate units. They'll still use the same models, of course. But let's go ahead and cover this. All right. Clone. Cost 1. Hits on 6 plus. During battle, while roll one less die than the total number of clones in your space. You're limited to purchasing one clone per home base space per turn. And of course, it cannot enter magma pools for Monolith. The crystallines are now moved to the second location, called Shardian. They cost 3. They hit on a 5 plus. Before battle, they can destroy themselves to roll 2 dice as a special attack that hits on a 4 plus. So they can kind of take into the initiative self-destructively and possibly even in vain. Just fill the area with crystal shrapnel. When removed as a casualty in crystal spires, it will automatically self-destruct from that point. So you have the option at any other spot, but you'll at least want to try to fight um, one of the spires because you'll blow up anyway. And again, it can't enter the monolith. The Sporlane. Oop. It's a 3 cost and it hits on a 5 plus. If it's in a liquefungus forest before when a battle involving you occurs in an adjacent hex, um, it may immediately move into that battle. Free support. The Boulder Blitzer. It costs 6. It hits on a 4 plus. It can move 2 hexes. Period. If it's in a rock plane, it attacks before even the monolith form. It just immediately attacks first. Of course, the Shardian could still snipe it with shrapnel uh, at the start of the battle. Magma Diver. It costs 8, it hits on a 3 plus, and it scores 2 hits on a 5. So anything So if your opponent brought numbers to battle, they might be in trouble. But moving from a magma pool, they can move to any other magma pool or any space adjacent to a magma pool and over enemy units. So it can go from here to here. Yeah, nice little mobility there. And finally, instead of the Rubium Dragon, is now the Monolith Worm. It costs 11. It hits on a 2 plus. It fits in a controlled space at the end of your movement phase. It may attack an adjacent space on a 4 plus. For each hit you score, you attack again. So you can chain some, uh, potentially chain some damage, and really just cause absolute terror on an opponent. When moving, it can move to any space, moving over enemy units. You pay 1 rubium for each space beyond the first. So you can move up to the monolith from here by spending a rubium. That's the alternate units. They're weird. It's something to experiment with and basically do something different with the game. And then finally, there's the alternate two-player boards. Um, Normally, with the 2 players, it's just one home base at either end. The uh, alternate two-player board energy dependence will use specific tiles, but ultimately it'll end up looking let's see, something like this. Not exactly in terms of the terrain, but in terms of shape, with the home bases here. Alternatively, it'll take the 3-player board and allow me to fix this disaster. It'll take the 3-player board and then set them pretty close to each other. They'll have room to grow this way and explore. So there's going to be a constant war right here. Yeah. Yeah, the smaller board is called energy dependence, and the larger board is called bad neighbors. But yeah, a good base game and a ton of variants. Why the hell do I love this game? Because I just have so many fond memories. Um, Early in my tabletop gaming life, this was one of the games we played quite a bit, and it was a good kind of understanding, like maybe basics of, you know, prioritizing what you're doing in terms of spending your resources, establishing where you're going to be, having certain units, making the use of terrain and special abilities. For as basic as it could be, it's also got quite a bit of strategy to it, and it's enough strategy to keep it interesting without being overwhelming. This and Warcraft are the two gateway war games of explore and exploit and expand and exterminate. I don't know if I don't know how the Warcraft game would have turned out without this existing, but let's say both games are valid choices for getting into this kind of game. Nobody should be jumping straight to Twilight Imperium. It should be a gradual process of, chess, maybe Nexus Ops or Warcraft or something, and then maybe something a little bit tougher, and then Axis and Allies or Twilight Imperium. Just saying. But also, it's just kind of a hilariously, ridiculously awesome game. Like, really, dragons and lava leapers and rock spiders and aliens and humans. It's it's hard to take seriously, but that's part of what makes it fun. Yeah. Some games just are so super serious, it's kind of daunting how how super serious they can be. This game feels a little bit tongue in cheek, and I like it. Just a little bit tongue in cheek. So it's not overwhelmingly little random chaos craziness. So also I like the idea that if you lose the battle on someone else's turn, you get some kind of compensation that might help you out. So Nexus Ops, it's been around for a long time, and seeing it brought back in this day and age, I approve. I approve of this game. Try it out. Try the variants. Just have a blast. It's awesome. All right. Thanks for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus, and I will see you next time.